What is up, guys? And welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Melita if you are new here, and this is a fashion and lifestyle channel. Y'all, I cannot believe I haven't reviewed any TV shows or any movies in a minute. And it's not like I haven't watched any. I don't know. So anyway, let's do a quick recap of some of the things that I've watched over the summer, and then we'll talk about what I'm looking forward to in the TV space. Okay, I watched a couple of comedy specials. Okay, Marlon Wayans had a comedy special on Amazon Prime, and it was called Good Grief. And let me tell you something, I enjoyed that comedy special. He was basically grieving his parents through comedy. You could tell, and it was dark. Listen, I love dark comedy. I mean, I just feel like that's how you survive life, because life is dark. Okay, so it was a lot of dark comedy that I was hollering at. Okay, but he also cried, and so you could just tell that he missed his mom, because he was an obnoxious mama's boy. It was crazy. So yeah, so it was delightful. I enjoyed it. You know, I haven't really watched all of his comedy things, I don't think, but I guess I enjoy him okay. You know what I mean? I guess he's not obnoxious. I'm just trying to figure out what them older brothers is doing. You know, Damon, I used to see him in a lot of shows and stuff, and I adored him. I ain't seen Keenan since Living Color, and dang, what was that show? What was that movie, y'all, that he did with Jada Pinkett? Whatever that movie was, that was a funny movie. But I ain't seen Keenan in forever. Like, but the way that Marlon talks, it's like they still rich. So I'm just like, what is that about? I guess I gotta Google him. Okay, moving on. Y'all, do y'all know this man named Keith Robertson? He is affiliated with Kevin Hart in some manner. Kevin Hart recently got the Mark Twain Award for comedy, and that was some kind of special. I think they put it on Netflix, and Keith Robertson, he has had 2 strokes, and he got up and said, you know, some funny stuff. I guess he's a comedian, and he was actually funny. Child, well, he has a Netflix special. And it is called Different Strokes. I'm like, no, they didn't name it that. And Keith Robertson also said that Chris Rock calls him Strokey Robertson. Let me tell you something. I hollered. Do y'all hear me? When I heard him say that, he said it on the Kevin Hart special, and he also said it on his special. So oddly enough, y'all, his special was funny. Like, I was cracking up, and then it also like gave me a little, made me feel warm inside. Like, don't give up if something happened to you. Like, this man had 2 strokes, and he still went and did a comedy special. I just thought that was so heartwarming. Okay, so check it out if you haven't. Now, I did see him on maybe Amazon Prime, like earlier or whatever, and I watched it. I hated that one. Hated it. I was like, what? I couldn't even watch the whole thing. It was from years ago, and my brain said, oh my gosh, don't tell me that this man is funny after he done had these strokes. Like, was he funny pre-stroke? I hope he was funny pre-stroke, y'all, because that'd be a trip, right? Okay, and then the last comedy special that I watched was from this man called Joe Coy, and it was called Live from Brooklyn on Netflix. Now, I don't really know this comedian, but I heard that he hosted one of these award shows, and I think like the people didn't really like him. But what happened was, while I was watching YouTube one time, he was on The View. I'll watch clips of The View if the title like makes me be like, oh, let me see what's going on. So the title made me be like, oh, let me see what's going on. And I said, oh, okay. Well, and I think he talked about his Netflix special. I said, well, let me check it out when it come on. y'all, I wasn't a fan. Like I didn't laugh. Like it was definitely entertaining and it was definitely humorous, but I didn't laugh. So I don't know what to say about that, okay? Y'all let me know if y'all watch him and check him out and all that good stuff. So let's move on to TV shows. Now these are TV shows that I can recall. Because we talk about the whole summer child. I don't know when the last time I like did a TV review or whatever, which is crazy. Okay. But what has happened is, y'all, why did I start watching Law and Order? And I'm talking about the regular one on Peacock. Um, of course I had watched SVU. I don't know when I started watching SVU. Y'all, it might have been this year to be quite honest with y'all. And I watched it from the beginning on like Hulu maybe? Maybe Hulu. I had never watched these Law and Order people, so I just got into it. So in between me trying to figure out what I'm gonna watch, I would just be watching Law and Order. So I was fairly caught up with SVU, so I started watching the regular one. I loved it. And then of course I watched Organized Crime with Stabler, and I'm up to season 4. I think that's like the recent season, I think. Which I'll be watching in between watching whatever I'm watching, right? So yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So I don't know, but we back, okay? So here's 2 TV shows, y'all, that people that were like advertised heavily. You might have seen them. I checked them out, and guess what? I did not care for them. The first one was that show called Supercell on Netflix. I did not like it. It was like set in London, and it was about these, was it maybe 5 to 6 people who had these special powers and discovered them. Y'all, the show was so slow. And by the time, everybody discovered their powers, they was getting together, they was having to fight. I was over it, and I was waiting for it to end. And they done already set it up to do a comeback for a season 2. But when I tell y'all I'm not interested, if something better's on, I'm definitely gonna watch that. Cause Supercell, I wasn't interested. But child, I was over there on that Facebook. That's where my family and like people I went to high school with. That's what's over there on Facebook. And I mean, so many people was talking about how they liked it. I was like, ew, why? I don't agree with them Facebook people. I guess that's why I can't be going over there all the time. Because I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all, the next show was this show called Queenie on Hulu. Also heavily advertised. I think it was also set in London, to be honest with y'all. And again, I hated it, okay? It was just a show. Queenie is a black girl. Her boyfriend was white. I don't know. I don't know if Queenie was giving black girl energy. I don't really know what the issue was, but it was just like her navigating through life. And her boyfriend drifting apart, but she was living in his nice flat with him. And once they broke up, she ain't had nowhere to really go. Oh, but you know who I did see in the movie that excited me? What was the butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's name? Jeffrey. Jeffrey was in Queenie as like her grandfather. And I was like, oh, it's so nice to see Jeffrey. Whatever his real name is, sorry. But that was all I got out of that. It was nice to see Jeffrey, y'all. Child, please. I really, some of these scripts, I'll be like, no, leave me alone, okay? I've seen better, okay? So I didn't enjoy it, okay? Y'all. So let's get into some movies I watched. Let me tell you about this movie I just watched right before I recorded this on Peacock. It's called Old. And it was written by that man that writes weird movies. What his name? M something Shalahan. Dang, is my phone over here? M something Shalahan. Shalahan. That might be his name. I'll type it up at the top because I know I'm butchering his name. But he makes all these like weird movies. Y'all, the premise of this movie was these people were at this resort. And then they went to this certain part of the beach. It was a special part, a special secluded part of the beach. And y'all, why did they rapidly get older? Like it was two families. And it was two families, but then ended up being a couple that joined them. The two families each had children. One was this little girl. She had to be like 3. Y'all, by the time we get into the movie and they on this island, the girl grows up and is pregnant because the two kids from the other family, it was a girl and a boy, they were young too. Y'all, they get older too, and the boy hooks up with the girl. They fool around. I guess the girl got pregnant. Y'all, this is all within like hours. This is not, it was wild, okay? Entertaining. It was entertaining and wild. If you like to be wild and entertained and you got Peacock, check it out. Next was this movie called The Beekeeper. Dang, why didn't I look up that man's name? I'm going to put his name on the screen because he played in a lot of these movies where he's the tough guy. He definitely played in the what's that race car thing? Fast and Furious. He definitely played in Fast and Furious. And y'all, him and this beekeeper, listen, I told y'all, I love seeing people getting killed. He was killing the mess out these people. And y'all, Felicia Rashad was in this movie. But she shot herself in the head, child, because this movie is called Beekeeper. But the premise of the movie is it's like an elder fraud thing. Y'all know how people be taking old people money because they'll go, like somebody will have a problem. Scammers. So the old lady was scammed, lost everything. Child, she did what that other culture do and blew her brains out. I was like, yikes. I guess she ain't feel like going through it, child. So she said, I'm done here. And then she had a daughter who was the daughter in the FBI? I think the daughter was in the FBI. Yeah, so Beekeeper is the tough dude. He was staying on her property. So once he figured out what happened to her, child, he went after everybody. Such a good show, right? Why my sister fell asleep on it? We was on the phone and she was like, yeah, I gotta finish watching Beekeeper. I said, girl, that movie is good. She was like, yeah, I fell asleep on the second half. I'm thinking, how you do that? She even said, when we talked later, she said, I don't know how I fell asleep on that. Right, you're a weirdo. Because that movie is full of action. But she run herself in the ground. That's how she fell asleep. But that's another story for another day. Okay. Oh, and then of course, I was going to watch Eddie Murphy reprise his role in Axel. And I couldn't believe it. I think I said something to my husband like, babe, I can't believe how good Eddie Murphy looked on screen. I said, but them old white men, they looked horrible. He said, but you know Eddie Murphy wear a lot of makeup. I said, he must wear a ton. I mean, Eddie Murphy looked good. And it's so funny because as he was doing his interviews on the interview circuit, he kept saying, no, I'm older now. I could not do all them stunts. And I was cracking up. But it was good. I enjoyed it. And I even was watching some of the older ones. They had it on Netflix. I was like, Beverly Hills Cop, you all right with me. This past week, like I'm recording this video on August 3rd. And just this past week, me and Roms was finally able to go see Bad Boys. Because what happened was, when it was coming out, now I was going to go see it. But when it was coming out, she was leaving me to go to the Ivory Coast and live a fabulous life while I was stuck here in the Americas, okay? And I was originally just going to go see the movie by myself. I'm like, oh, Roms ain't here. I guess I'm going to go see it by myself. Despite the fact that we said we was going to go see it together, right? Well, it's a good thing she brought it up. She was like, oh, yeah, Melita, the movie coming out, but I'm be gone. I was like, oh, girl, I was going to go see it by myself. She was like, wait a minute, what? You weren't going to wait for me? I said, oh, okay. and we died laughing. Because the thought never occurred to me to wait for my friend. Because I'm crazy. Okay. So I waited when she came back. But then when she came back, I was getting ready to go out of town like maybe that next week. And then we were just busy. The schedules couldn't align. And I was like, Roms, this is not even at the movie theaters no more. Well, it was. It just wasn't at the movie theaters on the weekend. It was showing during the week. Child, so we finally went on Tuesday. That Bad Boys, whoever is writing that script, they're doing a fabulous job. And you know, Martin, everyone was concerned when Martin was on the interview circuit. And I said to Roms, I said, I wonder how much editing they had to do. Because he did pretty good in this movie. Roms said, oh, I'm sure they had to do a lot of edits. We was dying. So, yeah, I mean, I wish him the best, but I don't know. That's a good that was a good movie, y'all. That was a good movie. I just don't know about these actors. I mean, they are getting old. I don't know. I mean, Will Smith looked lean and in shape, but he has looked lean and in shape throughout the whole Bad Boys franchise. And I think he probably work out. You know, he looked like he work out. Martin, he hasn't worked out. No, as he was, you know, getting his little money and stuff, he was just, you know, not working out. So, I don't know if we gonna get another one, child, but the one that was in them theaters was good. The writers, A++ across the boards, okay? So, let's talk about, as I end, let's talk about what I'm looking forward to, okay? And I got my notes here. Unprisoned on Hulu is currently out with Kerry Washington. I watched season 1. I loved it. That is some really good TV. That's what I'm talking about. When it comes to like these other shows like Supercell, Queenie, I'm like, no. You know what I mean? A show like Unprisoned, remarkable writing. Okay, relatable content is so good. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll get around to that soon. Reasonable Doubt is coming back on Hulu. That was good. I am so interested to see if it's going to be as good as season 1. You know, it don't have to like hit the ballpark, but just be as good as, okay? Because season 1 was good in my opinion. Y'all, I watched this show called The Umbrella Academy on Netflix. I have no idea what it is. It's like a sci-fi situation, but it's coming back for a new season. I had even text Shari, my daughter. I said, Shari, Umbrella Academy is coming back for a new season. And I also think this is going to be the final season. She was like, oh, when? I said, girl, I don't know. Netflix is just saying coming soon. So coming soon, okay? We getting another Emily in Paris installment coming soon to Netflix. And they can end it at this one. I mean, what season we on? 4 or 5? Okay, Emily, you in Paris. We get it. Bye. Okay, we can put an end to this. You in this love affair with these men, girl. We done with you. All right, we gonna watch you one. Let's watch you one more last time and put an end to this. Okay, put a pin in that, y'all. And then we are getting another Squid Games after all this time. I don't know how many years it's been, but we are getting a season 2. And I mean, the way that it was written and everything, I knew it was going to take a long time because, you know, all them obstacles they had to record and stuff like that. I'm like, woo, if we get another season of that, it's going to be a minute because that seems like a lot. And we are getting another one, y'all. It's coming in December. So we got to wait. But it's fine. You know, it's fine. We'll have stuff to fill the space until December. Okay? Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That is the update of what I've watched over the summer. I'll be back as more new shows and things roll out and I check them out. Make sure to like, comment. Let me know what you've been watching over the summer. And I'll catch you in my next video.